Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of The Desk. Actually, the first desk of 2022. Our last desk was episode 180 on July 3rd, 2021 with one Trey Golden. Tonight is episode 182, and we're bringing it back. We're taking it old school in the old school sense of I'm actually talking to a brand new person so we can learn and figure out this whole conundrum of the rookie-isms. So I'm talking right now with Vancouver or Canada's own Benjamin C-Note Franklin. Sir, how are you today, evening?
I am doing quite fine. How are you doing?
Great. Like I said, somebody else suggested I should start doing podcasts again, and I was like, fuck it, I'll talk to rookies because that's less of a headache. Feels good to me. So you said you had a question. So before we get into anything, might as well ask you a question because I'm sure I'll forget, and I don't want you to get overwhelmed and forget. So what's your question?
So my question is, where is all the hate from John Carter coming from?
Oh,
I love a good heel. I love a good heel. And like from day one, I hear "fuck John Carter." I'm like, what's going on?
Oh God. Okay, let's see.
I love it. I love the story. I love what's going on with Nate and the whole wedding. I love it all. Like I love it all. But I want to know why. Why does everybody collectively hate this man?
Okay. Wow. How can we surmise this? I think it kind of has to do with in character and out of character. Out of character, he's just a college kid, and I guess he's fine. In character, okay. The character, I don't know, dude. Like there's like twisted turns, and I don't even know if I'm privy to even speak of what's going on with this dummy. But his character has always been a bit of a shithead, so that's great. His rookie year was actually interesting because his rookie year, he did the cardinal mistake that all rookies make, and the cardinal mistake for rookies is to team up. And the only time it ever worked in a rookie team ever worked was one of the iterations of Ambition, which was back in 2010, which was the Ambition 4 plus Trash, which was Pat Lomai, Tiberius Dupree, Dimsmore, Hideti or Hideto Matsuda, and fucking Spider, aka. But back then he was known as Illuminati. So Illuminati is in the Hall of Fame, not Spider, because fuck Spider. But yeah, so basically those things don't work. So John did that with one of his friends whose names I forget, and then Verde, who was Chris Green, who switches back and forth. They were like a trio, the wrestling club. I don't know what the fuck happened. I honestly don't care enough to remember, but they broke up. But all the while they had the trio, basically as a trio, John Carter defeated the OCW champion and the CCW champion. Obviously not in fair fashions. Like I think he defeated Quartz, who was OCW at the time, in a 3-on-1, and I think Tony was defeated. No, Tony was defeated once in 1-on-1. But I don't know. Long story short, John has a decent enough pedigree, so I guess that's why people hate on John. He's also a dipshit because he had a title match against Doc, which he won, but he won in like a shady kind of way, so that soured the ship on that. And then but the thing is, like, he does dumb shit, but then he learns from his dumb shit and tries to improve himself. So I think it's just collectively fuck John Carter, but I don't know. He's annoying, but he's a good egg, but fuck him. But I don't know. I don't know how to put it. So yeah, and now here's a fun fact. So this is supposed to be about rookies, but we're gonna talk about this idiot. So he was essentially he was gonna fight Nate Mack at Resolution in 1-on-1, but Lucian was kind of jacked up. Like it was like too many people. So I was like, fuck it, let's put him in the future investment. And now he's fucking future investment. Like it never ends. It really doesn't end with shit like this. So I guess now he's persona non grata, but you know, he has aspirations for tag teaming, and he has the future investment case, so that can put people on fucking edge and fuck John Carter. I guess that's the best summation. But if you ask him, he goes, I don't know, I'm really good. I don't know, dude. Honestly, I don't know. That's my guess. But he's also a dummy. Like I don't know how to explain it. Like he really is a fool. He actually, you know what? Oddly enough, he's basically like a younger version of Ryu Matsumoto, aka he's just a trashling.
Trash. I'm taking that. I'm taking that one right there. Trashling. I like it.
Well, we call Spider, aka Ryu, trash all the time. The funny joke about him is that came. Might as well give a lore lesson while you're here as a rookie. So the trash thing is actually my fault. Like, I don't know, maybe 8-9 years ago, before like Discords, we would have Xbox parties or whatever. And I guess I came in one day really upset over something, and he was there. and I just spent 20 minutes just fucking shit talking him. I'm like, you're garbage and da 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 da. You're fucking trash and just that and the third and blah blah blah. Because basically, like, while everybody was doing stuff, he was there, but he was kind of in the background. When he was in OCW, he was in OCW for 3 years, and at one point, like, I thought you were Matsuda's alt. Like, I didn't think he was a real person. I just didn't care. So,
wow.
Yeah, I was like, so I just called him trash, and then oddly enough, he actually was trash. There's a photo of him in a trash can somewhere. It'll be shown somewhere, but so he was trash before I called him trash. But I made him. That was his villain origin story. He's ever been a fucking fuck. I can't even think. I'm so angry. He's been a Mighty Kong ever since. This fucking dork. I'm sorry. See, this is supposed to be about rookies, about you.
The lore. I love it. It's like
good.
This is one of the reasons why I enjoyed, like, why I signed up for OCW, because I'm like, you guys have been doing this for a minute.
Yeah.
And like you guys have, like, you put in the effort. You see the effort. So that's I enjoy all of it. Any more lore you guys put up? I'm about that life.
There's plenty of lore. Careful now. Some people think that lore doesn't exist after a year, but I digress. So anyway, regarding you, sir, because it's actually about you. We've been 6 minutes talking about everything but you, but let's get to you. So looking at your application, you said you're a wrestling fan, but what I found interesting is that you essentially came from the text role play type of thing. Is that true?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. I used to play this game called the Wrestling Game. It was like you just basically put your character in there, and then you go up against another person, and you don't see the matches. You just see a breakdown of, oh, he did Hurricanrana, he did this, Ray-Tay-Tay. And then there was a bunch of different threads through that. So I joined one. It went under for a little bit afterwards, and then I joined another one that was pretty good. I was doing good there. I loved it. I enjoyed writing stories. It was real fun. I love wrestling. But like illness and then work, it just took me away from it. So I couldn't even really focus on it as much because there's a lot of effort when it's all text based. Like, my hat's off to people that writes pure text based role plays. Man, that takes it takes way more effort, in my opinion, to make a good text role play than just doing a video. Because you actually have to make the people see it in their mind. So, and some people do real well. So my hat's off to them. But I wasn't able to keep up with that. So I took some time off. And then I wasn't really playing the WWE games as much either, because some of them were not as good as others. They were kind of janky, kind of like glitchy. But this one was great. Then I looked up, saw that there was OCWFED'S, looked through a couple, and then OCW. Like, from all the ones I saw, OCW was the one that just seemed the most interesting, like the most characters, and you guys were willing to like work with people. So yeah, that's where it came from.
So take me through that, about like you see other places and you're like, nah, that ain't for me. Like, what, like you said characters and whatnot, but what made, I guess, to you OCW stand out? And then we'll talk real quick about text, because I got a question about the text joints. But like, what made the OCWFED like kind of just be like, oh, this would be where I would want to go home? Because there's, the funny thing I've learned is that there's plenty of places that do what we do, but nobody does it on our level. Like, when I go searching, it's basically a Discord or a Facebook group. Matches may or may not get done. Role plays are on Discord, where I'm challenging you for the title, Hoot. And hey, can I look back at a match? No, why not? It's missing. What do you mean it's missing? Oh, because it wasn't recorded. Why wouldn't it be recorded? We don't do that here. So how the fuck do you know who won? Like, we just to the annals of time, only 2 people watched. If a match take place in the wood and nobody gave a fuck, did it really happen? Did you really become a champion? I don't understand. So like, what about our fucking little tiny anthill on the highway shit state of the super internet super highway? That's a dated reference because I'm old as fuck. But what gave you like, oh, I'll give these guys a shot?
So it was, one thing I was looking for was like more player versus player, of course. Like I like, obviously that's the thing. Me and my boys, we used to play the game when it first came out all the time, even though it was glitchy, but we still loved it. So we played all the time, and that was something that I enjoyed. And then the way I would compare it is like their website and all the just information I could find about them. A couple other feds, like they would have a Twitch, they might have had a YouTube page, but there wasn't as much content as was you guys. Like, I'm not going to say that I went through all of the matches, but I went through some of them. I'm like, wow, like you guys put in some effort. And then when I went to your website, it just seemed easy enough to get into it. You guys made it seem like, it's not all about winning. It's not all about you have to be like the best graphic designer. You just need to put in that effort. And that effort will, get you wherever you need to go. You can have a losing record, but hey, put in the effort and you might show up. So that, and then looking over the rules, that handbook was detailed as fuck. Like, I read it, I was like, damn, like, you guys have some rules out here. I told my boys, I'm not gonna lie, I'm like, yo, you guys should join. Like, yeah, this sounds cool. I'm like, there's rules. They're like,
rules?
Nope, we're good.
Rules?
We're good.
Want no fucking rules. Why can't I spam the RKO? Why I need rules for? I don't need no fucking rules.
And the one thing that I love the most, finisher finish the match. I love those old school wrestling where, you hit a man with a finisher back in the day, they're not getting up. Like, if it's a pay-per-view, maybe. If it's a big match, maybe. But for the most time, you hit them with a stunner, you hit them with a rock bottom, they're staying laid out. And I saw that in your rules, and I'm like, okay, I kind of like this. Like, I have to learn because it's different, but I liked it.
Yeah. It's the funny thing is that, so this iteration is, for the most part, I guess I'll give credit to Jake. I shouldn't say I guess, but I give credit to Jake Allen because we've had so many different iterations of FPR. At one point, FPR was literally like this version we have. At the crux of it is super simple. It's very there's not a lot of rules to worry about. It's very kind of simple. The original iterations, I remember the first iteration was literally just like a D&D, like a Dungeons and Dragons manual. It was crazy. And then every game things had to be changed, and sometimes they weren't. Like we had one instance that, and some more interesting lore for you. So at one point we had someone look into FPR. We had classes. We had classes based on so rather than have just free forming characteristics, you can basically go into classes. So you had like submission character, which was actually really underpowered, but submissions were overpowered, so that was the catalyst for it. You had like a super heavyweight type, or what I think it was called Juggernaut or some shit like that. Then we had like the all-arounder or sports entertainer, which was kind of like the Rock type, which a lot of back then it was less light heavyweight, so everyone was heavyweight anyway, so like a lot of people went to that. Then we had like a cruiserweight class, like heavyweight class. Long story short, I had shitty management skills, and the guy doing FPR at the time basically suggested that that super heavyweights were like mismanaged or whatever, because light heavyweights and cruiserweights could do more damage per second. So this person's fix for that was essentially make super heavyweights faster than pretty much everybody while still maintaining their damage. And me being a fucking maricon, I was like, I don't care, whatever, because I'm absentee dad at that time. And that caused people to leave. As a matter of fact, that the people I mentioned the Ambition for, they kind of like left for a little bit until FPR got fixed. And sure enough, FPR got fixed, and that said person wound up fucking off. Go figure. But yeah, so again, I give thanks to before Quartz or Jake Allen, thanks to Bobby Minio, because he gave us the new set of FPR going into the Renaissance era, which was basically 2015, 2016. Because I don't know if you remember, WWE 15 was a reboot of the whole franchise. And if you were on new consoles, it was bare bones as fuck. So bare bones that OCW basically shut down. Like by January, the middle of January, we had like 2 matches, a 4-match Riot, 2 matches was submitted. KD beat Jacob Trance, who was OCW champion. I don't remember the other match, but we were missing 2 matches. There was like 2 role plays. I said, fuck it, not doing it. And we took a break until the next game came out. But because of that next game, guys like Paul Pugh, legend no longer here, and Bobby Minio, legend not really here, they kind of, refit FPR and redid parts on the site, a little bit of modernization, not much, but whatever. And so, yeah, that was the new iteration of it. And then Jake kind of took it to the next level with the breakdown and everything else, doing a fucking fantastic job. So even this new version is not difficult. So when I see people come in like, this is a lot of work, it's like, shut the fuck up. It's not hard. It really isn't.
It's not hard at all.
You just gotta read.
The thing about it is, if you play this game online against people and then you come play that, like, it's hard to just remember certain things that you can't do, like, the step backs and all that other stuff. Because if you're playing online, FPR is going to get you walloped. Like, you're just going to get...
You say that, but it's the opposite. Actually,
so?
No, I know so, because our people will go online. They don't use FPR online, obviously, but the thing is, knowing FPR, you now know what you can exploit. So
this is true. Yeah.
So for example, a shitty example, and I'm remiss if it's insulting, but for example, Lotus Flojo, aka Gooch, I would say mid-card, I guess, former women's champion, but when it comes to the game, 50-50, sometimes good, sometimes maybe shit. Goes online, murders everybody. Why is that?
Really?
Exactly. A lot of people, even like our worst person, will go online and fucking murder. Because now you know FPR, you know what you can exploit, you know what you can exploit. So now you just, all right, well, I know what this person's doing. That's it. Like Cassidy Hayes can keep you on the ground pretty much indefinitely if you wanted to, and he's horrible at this game. Like I've seen these people, like, because they know the ins and outs and the minutia and the nuance of things. Shit, I used to go back in the day when I was actually playing these fucking games. I hated it, but I go online. I was winning. You could back in the PS2 days, you could win championships. So I just go place to place, taking people's championship and coming back to OCW going, like it didn't mean shit, but it gives you a ground, a foundation. But if you're a fucking cheese dick and you come here and you can't be a cheese dick, those cheese dicks tend to like not want to stay because they can't be a cheese dick and they can't actually be good.
Right.
Because all they know how to do is cheese. These people can cheese but choose not to. They try to have a match. Well, you're supposed to be. And that's what gives us that longevity as opposed to fucking watching game battles, dated reference again, old as fuck. But, watching shitty fucking, spammy edge spear horse shit you see online for these games because these aren't balanced and people are stupid and they're fucking whack. Back to the action though. With the text with the tech stuff, we actually had some people that came from the the text RP background. My thing that I found interesting about the text RP or the text EFEDs is, see here we have the metric of if you can you can use it, the win loss. Obviously that's an actual tangible metric. But when you have role plays, how would you be how would you know who would technically win or lose? Is that just a decision by the people at bay, or is that a decision by the little algorithm that does the match, or how does that work?
So for the most part, we would already know the winners. And that was one of the reasons I wasn't really a fan of it, because I'm like, okay, it doesn't matter how good I make my character or how much time I put in to making him better if it's always going to be predetermined. Because there's sometimes I'm like, okay, I don't want to win, but all right, well, I guess I'm a champion and you guys want me to stay the champion. Okay, I'll win. I like the idea that in this bed, it's actually winner, you have to earn it. You have to win. So if you win a championship, hopefully you're good enough to keep defending it, or you're going to lose that championship right off the bat. So in the tech space, for at least my EFED, it was always pre-planned. We always knew who the winners were going to be in every match. We just used the algorithm to just, for the most part, create the match. Because we don't want to write each and every line, because there was a lot of lines sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes you would, if you want to do those real, those hardcore matches, those Hell in the Cells, you'll write those ones. But for the most part, we'll just let the algorithm write it, and then we'll just change the ending.
So here's a fun fact. So if you didn't know, OCW started in 2004, way before capture. And the thing is, off rip, I've always wanted people to capture their matches. So if you didn't have a web, recording those matches back then was a feat in and amongst itself. So if they're around, we have our archives, our text-based archives are available. The problem is that I didn't want to use YouTube because I ain't want to have these people tell me what the fuck to do. So I used to host the videos normally, on our own server, and eventually people were like, you can't do that. I was like, you can't do that. Fucking 15 years later, but I digress. So basically, a lot of anything prior to 2017, the text is there, but the videos have to be uploaded manually, by request. But prior to that, 2004, 2005, our matches, even though they were done also in text, in the sense that you would play your match, but then you would fucking write kind of what happened in your match, and that was the show for the first maybe couple of months, and then we, as more and more people started being able to record, back then it was not lazy, but people just didn't know how to record. So we had dedicated recorders. They would dress up in all black, Cam Ninja, and just record the match. Or as a special guest ref, they would be the second one recording the match from ringside or from the rope or whatever. So we had that, and they were in all black. So we just didn't, Cam Ninja. It was crazy. And then over time, people started having more responsibility, and they would, more people would edit. And record matches. And now basically, pretty much everybody recording. If you don't record, people look at you like something wrong with you. So we have people editing on phones. It's crazy. Like John Carter's a dipshit, but he edits his matches on a phone. So I mean, can't really be mad. Like, thank you, you're an idiot, but thank you for figuring that out. So I always found it funny because that was the reason I didn't want to do a text fed, purely because I don't like the idea of saying, "Oh, you win, you lose," because what happens is you have a fucking schmuck roll up and be like, "Well, I should blah 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 blah," and it's like, suck my dick. So I to avoid that discussion, I would basically go, "Well, did you win? No, shut up." And that's pretty much been okay. Like, we've had over the years, like, because there's so much history and so much horrible shit that's happened, like, in this place that I've become a certain kind of way, much to like people's chagrin. But I would have to, just to give you an idea, I would have to lie about matches. So, like, let's say you're fighting Hanzo, right? But it's number one contendership. I'm not gonna tell you that, because if I do, I might not play normally. You might play a little suspect. I had to do that back in the day, like 2006. I had to do that shit. Yeah, stuff like that. It was crazy. We've had matches for championships back in the day that, like I always say this, that lasted about a minute 20, right? And people complained about it. Like, the 4 people involved complained about it. So, like, do it over. They did it over, and then it wound up being a minute 40. I was like, well, fuck it, throw my hands up. We'll just use that one. The one that's a minute 40. Like, back in the day, 2006, and progressively as the roster evolves and influences are removed, influences being shitheads are removed, it's different and it's interesting. But to bring it back full circle, I just never liked the idea of being told, "Oh, I should be so and so. Fuck you." Because more than often than not, that person is wrong. Like, I would be told back in the day, "Oh, you're protecting so and so and so would fight you," and then he would fucking wear you like a condom, and then you shut up or you fuck off, because that's what you got. You got what you came for, surgery with the chainsaw. Nowadays, it's much different, and I prefer it this way. It's, everyone's working, and if you're not working, cool, but no one cares about you. So that being said, you found OCW basically just looking abroad. But the other question I put is, like, have you ever found a place like this specifically? I'm gonna say no, given your previous information.
No, not anything like this. There was another Fed that I watched a couple matches, and then I reached out to them, and they were talking about, one of the way progressing is by donating this, that, next thing. I'm like, oh, you gotta donate. They're like, yeah, you gotta donate to upgrade your character. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Let me get back to you, deuces. Like,
wait, player versus player?
Yeah, it was a player versus player, and I was just so confused about it. I was like, what am I paying for? To play other people?
Hey, yo, I need to know the name. Do you remember the name? I gotta know.
Let me look at it.
Hold on. My God. See, I'm judging, but you know what? More lore, because you said you mentioned off camera or off thing you enjoy lore. So here's some lore for you. In 2009, there was a UFC game that came out. I think it was the first UFC game on Xbox or whatever. I think it was Xbox 360. Yeah, probably Xbox 360. So I decided to make an MMA league, which was basically OCW was like blue, the MMA league was red, and because I don't know what possessed, I guess to recoup costs, I winded up charging not to play, but basically to. If you wanted to have a training camp, because a training camp by default you get 4 slots, no problem, whatever. But if you want a bigger training camp, you would have to pay for the space on the forum. So motherfuckers was paying, and I was like, "Oh shit, word money, yes." So, but the thing is, like, when I was charging, I wasn't charging to be an asshole. I was basically like, "Well, look, okay, 4 is free, and then if you want more, it's like whatever." But I think I capped it off at $75 for like a training camp. I think maybe 10 to 15 people. And bro, I had like fucking 9 to like maybe I think 21 camps. I think 9.
Really?
I think it started at 9 to 14 to 21 at one point. And mind you, on the wrestling side, the game that was out in 2009 was the drizzling shit. So I was an absentee dad basically. And that during that era of OCW was wow, very, very, very awful. But what I found with the MMA stuff is, while it was profitable, there was no love in between. Like, the fights were all bullshit. Once people figured out the meta, which I think was Muay Thai, and I think kickboxing. Cass would know, because Cass was actually on one of the MMA sites. he would know. But there was like just basically a default thing that was the best. Everybody did that. We had a couple pay-per-views, and basically I ran it for a year, and then I announced, hey guys, we're closing down. This is whatever. This is our last fucking show. Blah blah blah. Everyone was amicable. Everyone fucked off to their other MMA stuff. I think a couple places took the mantle. One guy we had, he was like, "Oh, can I use this in the RP?" Saying that I took over online championship fighting. I was like, "You go nuts, buddy. You have fun. Go for it." But that was the only time I like charge people. So I want to know who's asking player versus player, charging to power up your fucking character. And what's the max OVR? You can't find it?
Because I used to follow them on Twitch. So I'm looking on Twitch, but then I also did a cleanup on Twitch, and I never watched them again. So I know I can find the email. Let me get back to you on that one. I will let you know for sure.
That's fine, but that made me so. But like to upgrade your character, but what do you upgrade it to? You upgrade to like 100 OVR or what? What's the upgrade? That's
something
what I'm concerned
like that.
about.
Like I didn't, to be honest with you, as soon as he said that you had to like do donations, I straight just ignored him. Like I was just like, all right, cool. Like,
but the donations are what? The donations are like to permanently power up your character or through Twitch. Ooh.
Right. So you know how you can get those donations, or you can get like people. Yeah, they were doing it through that, and it would like connect to their site, and you would level up your character in the league and stuff. And I'm like,
well, look, I like the part about upgrading through a site. I like that part, but I don't like the part about I shouldn't even talk because motherfuckers. As soon as I start Twitch, people's like start giving subs. I'm like, yes, thank you, but they don't buy power with it. They don't buy any kind of power with it. It's just to help the fucking fund the site because for the past, I don't know what happened. Go ahead. What were you saying?
No, go ahead.
Oh no, I thought you said wait, but yeah. So, it was the it's funded. They helped fund the site because up until 2019 or 2018, this shit was coming out of my pocket. It was I was already like in the hole for like fucking maybe 11-12 grand just over the years. Just over the years. It's not like at a time, but just between upgrading and all kinds of shit like that and fucking server costs and all sorts of bullshit. But now Patreon for the most part and whatever Twitch comes in, that helps pay for that. So I'm like, I'm fine. I don't give a fuck. As long as that shit's paid for, I don't give a fuck. I'm good. I'm straight. But I just that whole because that was the issue I had with because there's a thing called stream loots, and I was always concerned about that because technically you can't really power yourself up, but you could interfere with the stream. So I'm like, I don't think that'll be conducive to the environment of actually watching a show with your contemporaries and the commentary and everything. But I just funny thing is that a few people recommended having not a subscription but like a sign up fee for OCW, which is basically just like a $5 one-time fee for being annoying because before we would have so much traffic with people trying to sign up or whatever, and it's like a lot of it was a waste of time. So it's like that's the fee for it. But that was a whole fucking can of worms that people don't want. That was just an annoyance fee, but it's just the fee to level up fucking pops me huge. Like,
and that was what turned me off. I'll be honest, that was it. As soon as I heard there was a fee, I'm like, so I'm paying to play people. Like I can play my friends right now.
70 OVR. Look, if you give me 500 bits, I can move you to at least 81 OVR. All right, just 81. But next month you gotta re-up, or else you're going back down to 70. Yeah, fuck.
Hey, I can't hate on the hustle. I can't hate on the hustle. You're saying, there's all those fees, so you got to do what you got to do.
No, but in this case, these motherfuckers aren't out for the fees. These motherfuckers are out to get paid. Like I've had fees and I would cry about fees. I'm like, fuck. Like there was a donation drive. Like I do a donation drive every time in July. Since Lucian was in July, I literally forgot about it. So I said, fuck it, I'll just eat the cost. And boy, with that cost did I eat. Fuck. I was like, god damn. I was like, this shit went up. I guess this shit went up. Fuck. So there's maybe next year I'll fucking cry for money. But yeah, it's like it's funny because they had like non-player versus player sites that were also charging. There was a whole thing about it in the community. And like they was charging to get booked, and people, they would like take advantage of fucking kids paying money to get booked or whatever. And then they wanted basically after like maybe 2-3 months, they wound up cashing out, and I don't know what the fuck happened, but I was like, that's some shady shit. Wow. Yeah, but that's not even play versus play. That's some other shit. I don't know, dude. I know I'm a shitty Patreon, but I try to be upfront with my shittiness. Like I'm like, look, this goes to this at the bare minimum. This goes to the fucking site, not me. I wish it did, but life isn't fair. But anyway, back to you. So I can't. I'm so fucking trying to think about like I really want to know if they charging you to at least I want you to start at 65 OVR, and then when you pay, you get to like 100 OVR. and you gotta you gotta keep that bonus.
I'll tell you, I'll get it. I'll get you the information. Trust me. I remember looking at their site, so I just gotta check my history, but it's a long history. I'm bad with names.
That's fucking crazy. So you mentioned you're interested in the law. So what makes you interested in the law as as someone just coming into this place?
It gives me a better idea of like the characters. Like, for example, the whole Papa cast. I didn't know anything about that. And then when he came out at the pay-per-view dressed with the paint, I was like, oh, this is kind of hot. And then everybody's like, oh, he used to run Cassiani. I'm like, oh, that makes some sense. Like, this is all making more sense. So knowing the lore gives me a better idea of what's going on with the different characters, which might give me an idea of how to maybe mold my character so I'm not a carbon copy of somebody else, or so I maybe could rub somebody the wrong way that I want to actually start a feud with. Because if I'm saying some stuff, maybe it'll get under their skin and they want to challenge me, and that works for me.
Yeah.
So the lore helps.
Yeah, it's so fucking expansive. So what you can probably do is you can literally just go on the YouTube and type Cassianity or Kaz, and you'll wind up getting a bunch of shit. Like, I would probably recommend, actually, no, if you want to get like a kind of a brief synopsis of last season, you could probably check the awards, because there was like and then by looking through the awards, you can see like certain segments or certain things, and then that way you have a frame of reference to go back and look those specific things up. Because there's like everybody, like most people have had pretty interesting arcs, and there's so much, even within the past 4 years, there's been like so much pivotal history that's happened. It's this shit is crazy, and it's them so much. Not really me, it's them just making these fucking things happen. It's crazy, bro.
And I like that. That's what I like. That's another thing that drives me to OCW and keeps me actually engaged. Like, I have a hectic schedule. I have a lot of things going on, but I'm still going to I'm going to still watch the show. I'm going to still try and put up my role play and still get in those dark matches to at least get a little better, so I can maybe get a win.
I mean, you had one last week, right? You had, not last week, but the week prior. You had at least one win, right? You have 4 matches so far?
I'm still goose egg out here.
You serious?
Still goose egg. Like, the tag team match, we could have came out there, but nope, didn't have that one. I have a couple upcoming matches, but man,
you said goose egg still.
I'm looking at their videos. I'm like, oh, this is not gonna be easy. Like, this is not gonna be easy.
Goose egg, fuck. Hey, man, look, it's okay. It doesn't look, as long as you doing what you need to do and that's the thing too. You as you mentioned, the one thing I hate, and this is what pisses me off. People coming, oh well, I got a life and I gotta, yeah, motherfucker. So does everybody else.
Right.
You think motherfucker just sitting here? No. For example, H2O drives a fucking truck with his 7 kids. Not in the truck, but he drives a truck and then he has 7 kids. Actually has 2. Wow. I think he has 3. I don't fucking know. He has a lot of kids. Whatever. But the point is, this motherfuckers here have responsibilities.
Right.
Actually, most people in OCW are actually working professionals in some capacity. Whether a bunch of fucking teachers, Spider and Parker are mechanics. Fucking Kent works for the court. Dupree works for the fucking. I'm outing everybody. Work for the court. So everybody's doing something.
Wow.
I fucking work in law. So everybody's doing something.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like, oh well, I can't. Motherfucker, it takes like 20. Like, if you boil it down, you can basically get your OCW shit done in about less than an hour if you have a match, and that's including recording, uploading, and everything. If you're just writing, that can also just be a 10-minute thing. It's not difficult. So I hate when motherfuckers come here like, well, I have a life. Shut the fuck up. It takes 5 minutes. And if you don't have that time, that's fine. Fuck off. That's it.
Right. Like, you got to put in the effort. If you don't want to put in the effort, then what's the point?
My favorite motherfuckers show for their match only on stream.
Hey, I think, you know what? I'm not gonna lie. There's times I can't watch the stream because I'm just not able to do it because I'm doing something. But for the most part, like, I'm trying to watch the stream because I want to see the matches. Like, if I can't watch it live, then I'm gonna go to YouTube and watch it on the YouTube channel. Either way, I need to stay up to date with what's going on.
Yeah, something.
I don't understand what the point of being here if you're not going to stay up to date.
Thank you. Fucking that preaching to the choir. Jesus Christ. You'd be surprised. We had a champion at one point that didn't give a fuck about nothing for nothing. World champion. Trevor McManus. Never forget him. Love him to death, dickhead. Like, it's just, he said, I appreciate the honesty. Don't watch shows. And he was just competing and, okay. And that was like the Dark Ages. And he was a world champion at the time. And I remember, I think one of the matches he was in during the Dark Ages was a triple threat match, and this is the one I also bring up. It was a triple threat match at Resolution. I don't know if it was the main event. It might have been the main event of one of the Lucians, maybe 4 or 3. Long story short, it was like 60 minutes. Horrible match. And it ended with like a running, grounded clothesline. I remember that. I remember that much. I was like, ugh. This is like
60 minutes?
It was 60 minutes, a triple threat, and it ended with like I don't know how to explain how the move was, but basically like you run on the ropes, as you rebound, you like downward do like a little clothesline, like it no impact, and then got the pin. And I was like, well, life sucks. So it's like we've come so fucking far. So that's why it's important, like you said, that's why it's important to kind of get with what you're going and just kind of understand what people are doing so you can learn some character motivations at the very least and see who goes where. And don't even worry about your fucking W. You'll get one eventually. And then what you should do is continue. Always, my favorite thing about somebody is like you need to like, even if you don't win, you cut that promo like you won. Fuck people up when it comes to booking. I mean, not booking, when it comes to betting. I love that shit. Motherfucker have a I won video in the beginning of their match, like, oh, tonight's the night. Everybody go put on C-No. I'm gonna put 32,000 on C-No. This motherfucker lost. I'm broke. That's what you get, motherfucker. That's my favorite.
Let me tell you, sometimes I make promos before I even do the match.
Good.
So like, I don't even know what the outcome's gonna be, but I'm gonna talk that shit. Like I'm gonna say what I have to say, and if I lose, well, then I'm gonna move on to the next.
Yeah, no, good, perfect. Because what used to happen is people like we would have people that what they will do is they would the bare minimum, which whatever, bare minimum, do you boo boo, but they'll do the bare minimum. But then all of a sudden, if they win something, oh, there's a fucking a pre-match role play and a post-match role play. Oh shit! So it's like, oh, this motherfucker probably won because they're doing this work. I appreciate the person that does that fired up, whether it be heel, tweener, babyface, whatever promo, before the match, preferably if you're not the fucking first match, hint. If you have the first match on the show, don't do no pre-match shit. Do some post-match shit. But I prefer the pre-match fired up, whatever, and then you don't win because that just proves you're not a shithead. And that just, especially if it's a video, you fuck up the whole betting, which makes me even happier. Makes people confused. Wait, should I or shouldn't I? I don't know. Get broke, bitches. Makes me happy.
I think somebody lost a lot of money on me one time.
Yeah, they did. I think it was it might have been the Diva match, but I don't know if you had the video post for pre for that. I don't remember. But maybe it was one week after.
Match. The Gonzalo match.
Yeah, the Gonzalo match. Shit, I thought you didn't win that either. No, fuck, I thought you did.
Nope, I took that L too. I can't close. That's my issue. I'm not a closer yet. I'll put up a good match and then bam.
So here's the thing. This game got people thinking that, you need the stun to hit a finisher. Not necessarily. Sometimes if you got your finisher, you just got to hit that bitch and, hope for the fucking best. Back in 2K19, like people would try to get you to 0 reversals and then hit you with a finisher. That was like the old meta back then of many other things. But, they would have guys like Mark Reese who would you would have like 3 revs and he would have no revs or 1 rev and fucking go for the finish anyway. And he was successful a lot of times because motherfuckers like, he's not going to try a finisher. I can, oh shit. And then you lose. You get slammed. But, sometimes like I noticed with you, like you'll have the finisher and then you'll try to get everything. Oh, all right. Just once I get this going and get the stun, I would, and then it just fuck. You got to sometimes you just got to go for it. You just got to go for it and fucking hope for the best, and then that's it. And as long as you're not a pay per view, you're good. They got to fucking sell. They got to sell for the one. As long as you hit it, that's just got to make sure you hit it.
Yeah, no, I'm trying. I'm putting in those hours in those dark matches, trying to
pick up those bad habits in dark matches. Ugh. Anyway, okay. So you basically mentioned what you think the appealing part about is with everybody having that all those different little things that people are doing, and that's the thing too. Everybody has different styles. Like everybody, like, there's so many different video styles that someone's like, oh, how do you do a video? Like, however you want to do a video. Everyone's style is different, and everyone's style, like, evolves. If you look back from, I guess, maybe 2018 even till now, 2019, everybody's video packages and role play style, not role play style, but role play video style has kind of evolved from very crude to rudimentary to now some of the shit is super sophisticated. Fucking Max Edwards didn't start like that. I'll tell you that much. Max Edwards did not start like that. That's for goddamn sure. And progressively just, it's nice to see just people progressively get more, I don't know, sophisticated. There was a podcast I did, I don't know, maybe 3-4 years ago, the Ambition podcast. And I kind of mentioned how role plays could evolve with the video format, and sure enough, fucking here we are, 2022, and what I said actually happened. So I'm a fucking prophet. Yay me. Fuck. It's good. It's cool. So that being said, again, back to you. So as a rookie, like, what is your general feeling? You can be honest too. Like, what's your general, like, rookie feeling being here?
So I like anywhere else, I see there's a hierarchy. Like, you know, the champions are the champions for a reason. I can see based off of the role plays and what they do in their matches. Like, I'm like, damn, those matches are nice. So, but everybody is, for the most part, willing to help, willing to give advice, willing to, you know, show you the ropes if need be. So I like it. I like it so far. If I didn't, I would have been ghost from a long time. I would have had that one match and said, oh, I lost. Let me go back and play with my friends because at least I can beat my friends.
Yeah. I could beat them.
And I'm sure my friends listening to this right now, they'll be like, yo, you ain't beating nobody. Shut the hell up.
Well, they should probably fucking sign up. Another fun fucking throwback. Do you remember, or I don't know if I said this off camera or on camera, but the Ambition 4 plus Trash, right? Guess who was friends? Guess who's real friends with Tiberius Dupree and Dimsmore? I'll give you a hint. He's the second most hated person here in OCW right now. The OCW World Champion, Harvey Hamilton Ocean, H2O.
Really?
He was, and he didn't want to join. He didn't want to. He joined when his friends were like retiring. That's when he decided to join.
Wow.
He didn't join for what I don't remember his fucking reasoning. I don't remember what it was, but he sure as shit had way more time back then than he does now. But that's just it's fucking like he didn't join, and they were here like he joined when did H2O join? I think H2O joined 2017, 2018. They joined in 2010.
Oh wow!
So he was way fucking behind them. So it's just like, you know, you probably tell your friends like maybe give it a fucking shot. Maybe rules aren't so bad. Who the fuck knows? I don't know. I was always trying to fucking recruit people. Fuck it.
That video between Cass and the Last Horseman, is that his name?
Blacksmith. But yeah, you can call him Horseman, Blacksmith, same shit.
I sent that video to my boys and they were just like, what is this? They were just like, this looks entertaining as hell. I was like, yo, that's what I'm telling you guys. Like, I'm learning some stuff from these guys. This is entertaining. That match was
that match was fun as fuck.
I'm not gonna lie, the commentary. It's that was another reason why I joined. I'm not trying to gaslight anybody, but the commentary is funny as hell. Like, I find the other sites that I watched on Twitch and the other videos, I'm like, the commentary's okay. But the stuff you guys are saying, I'm just like, oh, that's some funny shit, yo. That's some funny shit.
Yeah, no, fucking me and Jake are crackheads. It's amazing. I love his. If you listen, he's also the catalyst for the production era in the sense that, like, the most I would do was play pay-per-views on Twitch, and the way I do it now on Fridays, where it's just me, you know, whatever with the show with y'all. But he was the one that pushed to like, we should have commentary. I was like, that's a lot of work, Hoot. Like, no, we could do it. And that was in 2018, and we've been going ever since. Or I think it was 2018 was the first one we did. The first one we did a 3-man booth, and his whole demeanor was different. His whole demeanor was like, welcome to fucking Devil's Night, and oh, it's a great. And then, I don't know, couple shows later, he fucking became the Juice Man. It's like, my nipples are hard and it's time for the main event. Like, holy shit, Jake, relax.
Yeah, the commentary is what I like. I enjoy the commentary. That's why when I go over the matches, when you guys post it, in between. The in between matches, they don't have the commentary. So when I go to the match, I go to the YouTube video so I can get that commentary.
You get me talking shit like an idiot, but that basically the way it works is main events. The main event videos have comments, the full commentary team. Pay-per-views are fully commentated, and then the anything like the actual matches a la carte are not, unless they're part of the VOD of the live stream, which is just me trying to maintain sobriety and failing miserably as I progressively get drunk and try to finish the show before I black out. So that's basically what that is. So that's me just being fucking just talking shit or whatever, but as opposed to the pay-per-views where it's full-on fucking Mauro Ranallo and whoever the fuck I'm supposed to be. Because fucking Jake is a fucking animal. God forgive him for his enthusiasm. Love it. So
I love it. I enjoy it too.
He's fucking, oh my God.
He reminds me, what was that commentary on NXT?
Mauro Ranallo. Mauro Ranallo.
Yeah, that's what he reminds me of.
I think that's what he's trying to be, but like I find him like I'm used to how he is, and he doesn't like, because Mauro screams nonstop. Jake doesn't scream nonstop. Jake screams when there's something to scream about.
Right.
So I guess he's modeled after Mauro, but to me he's fucking way better because he's just, I don't know. He'll just say like there'll be matches back in like when we first started. Like I'm trying to remember which match. There was a match that was really bad. It was on pay-per-view. So me and him winded up like trying to make each other laugh while doing commentary by commentary with Michael Jackson album lyrics. I'm sorry, record lyrics. So like any Michael Jackson song, we would try to work that into what we were saying. Like, oh, I can't believe he just might beat it out of it. He just might beat it out of his opponent today, right now. And he would follow it up with, oh my God, I can't believe so-and-so is a smooth criminal in the ring. And we were going like to the deep cuts, like to the shit that came out in the fucking 70s. And we were both trying just not to fucking laugh. And you would hear us as we continue to talk shit. Or if I'm really fucking bored, or if a match is really, this is the funny thing. The matches haven't been awful where we're just fucking up like that. But when they were on occasion, we would try to make each other just laugh on whatever, just talking nonsense. So fun times. But now we keep it professional because we're fucking professionals, and the matches are pretty much they don't stink. So that's a bonus. So as a rookie coming on in, what would you do to improve the rookie experience? If you had to, because that's a point of contention with the thing with OCW is we have a gigantic turnover rate, and like it's huge, dude. Like for example, from when the game came out till now, we've had about maybe I'm gonna say 50 applicants.
Oh wow!
Out of those 50. I would say if I count you, Hanzo, Sammy, who's technically been here before, and then I spoke to a couple rookies before, and I was like, look, I'm demoting you if you guys, whatever. Not mean, but like, look, if you're just gonna not do shit, then I just gotta put you as fan. I would say maybe 6, 7, but out of those 6, 7 is just those 3 right now that are active rookie. Wow. Yeah, so like turnover rates, turnover rates. Some people just, they get through the door, but they can't, I don't know, figure it out. Who the fuck knows? But like, what would you do, or what would you think to improve from a rookie perspective?
So the thing I liked about it was, honestly, and you said the bad habits, but I like the dark matches, because that's honestly where I get my critique about, hey, you shouldn't be doing that because it's FPR, or maybe you want to try this, you might be able to hit it. Like, people have been helping me, like Nate helped me, John helped me, Deaver, Hito, like they've all given me advice before. So like, I think I've always liked New Japan for their whole Young Lions, the way they do things. Like they have a whole dojo, you got to go train there. So maybe along the lines of that, where you have like the legends giving back to the rookies, doing more dark matches, just mentoring them a little bit more to help them maybe get involved. Yeah. To make them feel like, okay, this is not so hard. And then even one thing that overwhelming for me was like looking at the videos, because I thought it was all videos. I never went to the text based, like I never saw everything before I just saw the videos.
Yeah.
So that was kind of overwhelming to me, because I'm like, how am I gonna do something like that? I don't know how to do that. Like, what is that? Like, am I gonna have to buy something? I don't want to get Photoshop. I don't want to do that. But then when I spoke to people, they're just like, oh, there's this. They're like, there's this free app. John told me about the one on the phone that he uses, and I'm like, I've been using that one now too.
Yeah.
So just people that just maybe help mentor the new people if they show the drive. I think that's the only thing that I could suggest, because I enjoy dark matches. Like, I love playing this game, but my friends have stuff to do. Like, their parents, they got big time jobs, they got to sleep. I'm a night person, so, and people here are different time zones, and they're all about just doing a couple matches. So to me, that was good. Like, that kept me engaged. I kept getting more and more matches, so I like that. I think that would help the whole rookie experience too.
Well, more dark. You would say more dark matches?
Not even just dark matches, but like maybe some type of like mentoring, like where not saying you take everybody under the wing, because turn around is whatever, and people,
because we did back in the day, dog. There used to be look, so we used to have it that you didn't, to get in wasn't even like, right now to get in is not difficult. It's just a little time consuming, because what happened is that I don't know what happened, but like the rookies would try to come and they make their fucking weird porno accounts. Like, fuck this shit. So I had to make it difficult for Vladimir Putin and his asshole friends to get into the site. So that was the first thing. And then even before that, like we used to have, like, you can get a Discord invite and whatever, but then these people would come in, they wouldn't know their asshole from the elbow. We would have FPR tests, and they would fucking go like horribly wrong most times. Some people didn't know how to test. Some people, it's crazy. Like, fun fact, I tested Tiberius Dupree, who's now a legend. And in his FPR test, I fucking beat the shit out of him. I'm sorry. I tested Doc. Don't call him Green, Doc. In his test, was like, you need to relax, kid. You're rushing too much, buddy. I think those are two people I remember testing the most. Like, to get it, because you would actually have to have an FPR test to even get booked. And then I remember Jake Allen came in, aka Quartz. He came in, and he knew about the law previously. And whenever someone knows about the law before coming in, I'm like, red flag, like, oh boy, who's trying to trouble me? So he came in knowing about lore, and then, he was this whole big thing, and not a big thing bad, but during his FPR test, Dupree was testing him, and Dupree wanted to break an FPR testing him, and Quartz goes, I don't know, I think that's illegal, and we just started laughing, because like, oh shit, it is, you fucked up, you can't even test this guy. So like, that's how we had it before, and now it's kind of like, it's less handholdy, because it takes too much. We've wasted so much collective hours trying to help people only for them to just fuck off. So now it's kind of just like, hey, you got through the door, great. Good luck, fucking, good luck and shalom. Cause to sit there and to discuss, work with somebody, I've done it too. We've had people who would make you with tires or whatever, for debuting on a show, and then they just go fuck right off. Not even so much as my dog that I can't be here, just fuck right off. And we've had so much. I've invested in, like, I've sat with people with these fucking long heart-to-heart horseshit conversations and redid stuff and played therapists for fucking hours on end, and then next thing you know, I'm like, fuck you, I'm too old for this shit. You sink or swim, bitch. But I get that with whole mentorship thing, so I don't know, maybe we'll assign people a buddy or something. Like that Scotty guy, he came, he's asking 1,000,001 questions. Nothing wrong with that. It's good, because he's asking questions. You get answers, and then it helps you to figure stuff out. The only thing is, you answer questions, or actually you ask questions, you get answers, and you don't like them. That's a different story. But everybody has their own whatever to get here. But I'll take it into consideration to see if there's something we could do. To be honest with you, you're actually part of the new generation that hasn't been like onboarded. Because what used to happen is when you would sign up, Quartz would send you a fucking thing of literature to kind of just guide you. And he got tired of that shit. So now all he does is say, your call passes, here's an invite, you pass, you fail, and that's it. So now you're really just, you show up and you're like, what do I do? Figure it the fuck out. Figure it out. Most of you do. Most people figure it out. Yeah, it's not even the deep end. You just kind of like, you're like maybe neck deep, and you're like, fuck, I hope I don't get a sinkhole. But yeah, you're neck deep. Figure it out. It's not hard. Like we tell you, it's not hard.
It is this. Like
You can
FPR, like I
literally,
said, the biggest thing was FPR. And that is just honestly just to me it's just practice. It's like if I play with my boys and then come play and play over here, I'm just like, oh, I need to remember things. I straight abuse this when I'm playing against them. Like I'm not gonna lie, I'm the king of possum. My boys don't even come near me anymore, yo. They're like, you can get up by yourself because they know if they come near me, I'm straight trying to pin them just so they can't hit me. So I know I can't do that over here.
I mean, you can go for more pins. Like if you hit a pinning combination, go for a pin. If you knock a motherfucker on his ass, go for a pin. Because we need more. That's the thing I was complaining about. Because in 19 there were a lot more flavor pins because of the way the game was. So and then to mix things up, Paul Pugh suggested the sudden death thing, and that changed the whole game. I had so little faith in sudden death because I thought, oh, these motherfuckers gonna get cheesy and they're gonna try to pin as soon as the match starts and try to blah blah blah. Sudden death in 2K19 was fucking amazing. It didn't happen often, but when it did, it was great, and also it added that extra element of tension because it's like, oh shit, I might lose. Because some motherfuckers get comfortable thinking their opponent's going to break out of a pin, but if they going to hold that shit. And we've had matches that, and the funny thing is, I don't even remember the matches that ended with sudden death, but I know that plenty of them did. And it was like, oh shit, it's good. So we have that in 22, but in 22 you can kick out like nonstop anyway. So it's like, it doesn't really matter as much, but that element's there. So if you want to fucking go pin happy, go pin happy. Fuck it. Make people get their thumb dexterity all atrophied trying to kick out all the time. Fuck them.
Get them tired, yo.
Yeah, get it fucking. I think Garcia has bad like dexterity. Fucking tap him out, tire him out with the tapping, trying to get out of the pins. By like the 8th minute, he go for a fucking Casadora and he can't kick out. Fuck. Fucking shit.
That's literally my strategy against one of my friends because I'm like, I don't know. I can hear how he taps the button. I can hear him. I'm like, yo, what do you have over there? That's not your fingers. That's not you, bro. Like that ain't you. So I'm like, yo, I just go for pins all the time just to tire him out. I'm just like, no, I need to tire you out because there's no way. If you go for a submission, I'm tapping out. I'm not beating you. I am not beating you.
Yeah. So try that shit, baby. Let's see what's up. Become the pin master. I don't fucking. I want to see from OCW more pins. Period. That's what I want. Like I use the main event had quite a few. The Marcus Owen match had quite a few. Motherfucker like hit him really hard. Go for a pin. Pinning combination. Go for the fucking German with the bridge. Go for a pin. You love it. As opposed to I fucking hit a spear that knocks you inside out. Pick you back up, suplex. Yeah. You're like come on, son.
It's true. I guess that's the other thing you got to learn. Like. Because if you're playing online, you're not going to get that pin.
Oh, of course.
You're not getting that pin.
Of course.
So you're not going to go for it. But if you want to sell, like one of the things somebody told me is like, you can always try and sell. You might not want to always do that because you'll lose and that'll suck. But try and sell the move. Like, why kick out at 1? Try and kick out at 2.
No. That is bad advice. The way this game is, it just because you can fuck that up real easily. I wouldn't even worry about. Don't do that.
Don't do that, eh?
Don't do that. That's a fucking surefire way to fuck yourself up, real quick. Nah, B, fuck that shit. If you get hit with, because the thing is it's up to them. If they hit you with something that looks fucking chaotic, kick the fuck out. That's your job, because
True.
you don't know what they're thinking. It's also player versus player. But by that same token, you can, like, for example, in my match, I don't fucking compete. But how the fuck am I having like the most pins in the match? How am I fucking hitting combinations and trying to pin? How am I, because it's like that's what I do. That's what you do. So I'm not saying every time, but I'm just saying from a visual perspective. In the past games, we had that because the way the game was. This game is a lot faster, so I can see why people won't. But, it doesn't hurt to fucking flavor things up a little bit. And also, sudden death is in full effect, so a motherfucker got to kick out anyway. So even if he kicks out at 0.5 or fucking 2.9, hey, it's still work that he or she has to do for the tapping. Shit to live by, rookie. Shit to live by. So before we go, do you have any parting thoughts, questions, or concerns while I'm here, since I run the place and I probably would have a good answer before I forget?
So the only question, aka possible concern, but not really, because you can just, like you said, you can probably follow it, is like, I always wondered why you guys didn't have somewhere that showed like, the factions or the tag teams or well, you guys have the champions, like, but that wasn't up to date till like just recently.
Oh yeah,
So I was
yeah,
like,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
not champion. That's
yeah.
not, he's not the champion. But like, I didn't understand why you don't have it on the site. But at the same time, I see that the site, I think you told me this before, the site's not really used as much. It just except to put up the cards and to post your segments. And I noticed that. I'm like, okay, every once in a while I see people post things, but for the most part, that's what it's for.
Yeah, it's
But I thought
logistical
that would be
stuff.
great.
So here's a funny thing with that. So what I wanted to do was, because the thing is, I wanted to redo the site, but that came up to cost about, I think the estimate at the moment was $2,500, and that's because we have so much stuff. Because you can just make a brand new form that's like, that's about $700, but we have so much lore on this current forum that I would be remiss not to export it to a new platform. I want that. So that in itself is the part that's expensive. So I've been trying to kind of fish that out to a friend of ours, our OCW legend, but it's been inconsistent. Like the last thing we spoke about, I think, was actually probably February or maybe even April. I don't know. It's just something that might not be done in the in the foreseeable future. So that being said, the other thing that I thought about doing was creating another site, not a forum. Like, we'll still maintain the forum, obviously, but the other site would actually be a fully functioning portal, in the sense that that kind of data would be readily available and whatnot. The problem is it worth my time to try to do that? And that's the thing. Like, visually, that would be sick, and I would like, because we had a bunch of iterations of OCW. At one point, we had like fully functional type shit. Like version 3, I think it was. We had like betting game. We had bettings, arcade games, which you could try to beat each other's score. We had gambling. We had like a poker, a bunch of like a lot of shit. Automatic match payouts. You can unlock stuff stuff on the forum with in-game credits. Nothing bad, like smoke for your entrance, or special forum stuff, shit like that. Special rooms, blah blah blah, blah, a lot of shit. But I wasn't the coder who did that, so as time progresses, we got simpler and simpler. So that being said, I want to do something similar to that. Like, I have a vision in my head, but it's like, does it even matter? Or do I want to do it? Like, part of me wants to, just because someone coming in would see like, holy shit. Because basically the way I have it laid out is like www.com or some shit. You go there, you get the news or whatever, and then I have a link to the forum shows or whatever, and then the forums would be nice and beautiful. Like, because we have our forums listed. I mean, not forums. We have our shows listed, but it's very... The vault section is very outdated, and then to find any shows recently, you can check YouTube or you can check the forum, but it's not super duper ideal, basically. So if you want deep cuts, you kind of got to look for like someone like Bingo will do it. Some people will go for the deep cuts. They know how to navigate the archives. So so the idea would be like, do I want to do that? Because remember, that's like what. It's fucking like 18 years of information. Well, putting a show thing together itself would be like, for example, Riot would be 18 seasons of Riot. So that's, season one would be basically all 2004, which I don't even know if it's available anymore. And then 2 would be 2005, 2006, season 18. We're on season 17 here, I think. So 17 would be from like January to till the end of whatever. And then that would be all the shows listed. You click them and you go to the show. Like, I have the idea. It would look pretty. Could update the actual rosters. Have like these, like the basic roster template I have is like this thing where you have a visual. It looks kind of like a fighting thing, right? You click on somebody and then it takes you to their section. Then it has another portrait of them, but a different type of render. Then it has all their fucking stats. And then under it would have like some of their prominent videos, like their top 3 videos, whether it be a hype video. Okay. But again, is that worth it? I don't fucking know. Probably not. So who the fuck knows? Maybe I'll get rich and retire on the island. I can workshop that to some motherfucker, give him a couple grand until it gets done. But it's a lot of fucking work. And then at the end of the day, is it even worth it? If I can get it SEO'd up, like if I can get the SEO all hooked up, maybe, because at the very least people could, would see it. It would pop up high in the search engine, and then they can go through, what the fuck is this? And then it would eventually take them on to a place where they could go back to the old ass forum to sign up. That's the only thing. Other than that, it's the fucking YouTube, which is pretty good. But even look at the YouTube, there's so much stuff on the YouTube that we have about, I think, 3,000 plus videos on YouTube, B.
Damn.
Since 2017. No, since 2018, rather. Like, there's so much shit that I don't even think I categorize properly. I'm doing my best, but there's, like, a lot, dog. Like, a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot of matches.
Yeah.
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 That's a lot.
Just think about that. That's a lot of matches because you don't have 1 or 2 matches. You have, like, what was it, 5, 6, 7 matches a show?
Yep. And the thing
is, then there's segments.
Yep. And they're not just one video. If it was one video, that's one thing. But then when I was thinking about just the one video format, people like, no, they don't like it because it's hard to get footage for them. So I was like,
oh,
because then you have to go, it's way more difficult to get actual footage, which I understand. And also, I don't know if it actually does better on YouTube because since our volume is so fucking crazy. So I think it's actually better when we do more videos because like if a video back in the day would get like 200 and another one would get 200, that's 400 total, as opposed to one show gets like 350. You get what I mean?
Yeah, it makes sense.
I mean, it kind of does. Like I try to work within logic, but it's a lot of shit. Like, and just keeping it somewhat organized. It's semi-organized, but that's still like thousands of fucking videos. There's so much dope shit in there that I don't think people could actually even see because they wouldn't know what to look at. It's crazy. It's crazy, C-Note. It's crazy. like for example, all that lore shit you want, there's a section called hype videos. Go there, you'll see like a lot of, like, usually most of the hype videos for every show that's ever happened would be there, like the really good ones. And I don't even think I got all of them. I'm pretty sure I fucking missed a couple of them because I remember way more hype videos that I didn't add to that fucking list. I'm like, God damn it. It's crazy. It's a lot of work.
I'm gonna go to the hype.
Go to the hype section, and I'm pretty sure there's gonna be I'm pretty sure I don't think I added the Lucian stuff to the hype section. I don't think I've added the last couple of pay-per-view hype videos to that section.
Right.
But that has a chunk of them though. But it's shit like that. And then there's been specials on characters. There's the Ambition specials, the old Ambitions, the current iteration of Ambitions, shit like that. Like, these other specials, the fucking Magic Empire specials, the Fire Pro Magic Empire specials, the other fucking like the Battle for Time and Space, which was a meme amongst itself with celebrity guests. If you ever get a chance to, you can check that out, but you probably won't know half the jokes. But it's a fucking good watch. That was a fucking great watch during the pandemic. Fucking with all kinds of guest stars. It's great. Like, you'd fucking celebrities. It's crazy. It's we do a lot of shit here, buddy. We do a lot of shit.
And you got some talented people, some entertaining people for sure. Yeah, we got
some talented motherfucking people. Now, if you would just give us $8.99 a month, you can unlock more talent. Benjamin, you got a little more talent.
$8.99 will give you that win you are so desperately needing.
You know what? For $8.99, I will get you a can. I'll get somebody. I'll get someone with a 31 OVR. We'll get somebody with a 31 OVR, and you can go to fucking. You can get over that goose egg. just $8.99 a month. You can pin them on to your heart's content. Get your first W, and maybe you can actually call. And for an additional $59.99, you can call the champion, and he'll be forced to compete against you. In the Hell in the Cell. I don't fucking know, dude. That would happen too. People would show up. Rookies would show up. I'm challenging. We had. All right. Before we go, one stupid other story. One dumb story. Do you know what the word abeyance means?
Advance?
No, abeyance. Abeyance.
Abeyance. Nope, I don't think I do.
Okay. Once upon a time, WWE used that term to coin like that there was no champion, like it was vacated. They just used the word abeyance. So because I'm unoriginal. On our champions page, we didn't have tag teams at the time because somebody flaked. So I put the tag team champions as abeyance, which means vacant, but a different word. So rookies show up, and these two rookies show up, the Bod Squad, never forget, and they cut this fucking gigantic, like a Riot promo, like, I guess we've been hearing through the grapevine that the tag team champions abeyance want a piece of the Bod Squad. And they're cutting a promo, blah, 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 all super confident, like, we'll see you at Road to Glory, blah, 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 if you got the guts. And number thing is, like, number one, you're a rookie, so you're not getting the pay-per-view like that. Number two, you know that means vacant, right? And I don't think anybody told them because they didn't last. They last maybe a month, maybe less. But shit like that coming in here, who's the champion? I'm calling you out. Fuck off. That's the one thing we don't do here: instant gratification.
And see, that's like I learned that from the text base. Like, you can't just be coming in here,
Nope.
demanding things. Like, they'll bury you at that point. Like, I've seen it happen. Like, oh yeah, you want a champion? Sure, we'll give you a match,
Oh,
and you get pinned in 2 seconds. There's your match. Let's go, because you're writing it.
yeah.
So there's nothing more. They'll bury you for that stuff. I'm like, oh, I don't want to get buried. So yeah.
Like, whenever somebody comes in here and like that's their thing, is like, no, that's not like, we don't do that here. And it's not about basically like, oh, because no, the reasoning is anything given, like that isn't worth anything. That's the problem.
Right.
Like John Carter, I believe, is a 3, I don't know, I think some place he joined, he became champion the first week he joined, and then he's in the Hall of Fame. He was only in there for 2 months. Doesn't make any sense. It's dumb as fuck, and we like to make fun of him for it. But shit like that means nothing. So as stupid as it sounds, being Hall of Fame here, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't mean anything. But here it does mean that the time required was put in, and the effort was put in, and stuff that you did mattered enough to be there, if that makes any sense.
Be recognized. No, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, you got to earn it. To me, like I've always said, the best things in life, you got to work for it. You got to earn. Like, if it's just given to you, like, it's nice, but like, are you really gonna appreciate it?
Nope. That's the thing. I've heard that was a concern of our they whatever. Like, no, we do that for a reason. You have to earn what you get. So you have, so you have some kind of value to what you're working towards, as opposed to just being, because I've had times where shit was just gifted away. Like, we've had pay-per-views that were fucking like 17 matches in one day, and I was miserable on Twitch. I'm just like, oh yeah, oh great. We've had that. I've had, like, it's been a couple times. They called it the participation era, as a matter of fact. We're in the production era, but there was also the participation era as well. Shit like that. So it's just, it's a matter of kind of just earning what you get. And the funny thing about PvP is, whenever someone comes in like they're hot shit, we have the murder. As a matter of fact, you know what happened? John Carter came in, and El Parker was like, oh, this rookie thinks he's hot shit. I'm like, oh, word? Oh, you're fighting Tony Everett. And Tony wore him like a condom. I think they fought 4 times or 5 times. I think Tony was successful 3 or 4 of those whatever times. Like, if it was 4 times, he was successful 3 times. The third time, the time where Carter won, if he did, I can't remember, was fuckery. Not bad fuckery, but whatever fuckery. So yeah, back before Tony, we had KD. KD Angelo. You haven't really seen much of him, but yeah, KD Angelo would be basically like, we had like a makeshift scorecard of how many people we retired, and by retired I mean people come in, talk shit, then they quit because they got beat up. So I have a couple people, like KD had a shitload back in the early 2000s. He had quite a bit. So people will come in and talk mad shit, or people will come in with these characters that don't fit in a player versus player setting, and we would say, but the thing is, we would be like, hey, look, you want to do this, that's great, but I don't think this kind of character is gonna work. Because, matter of fact, yeah, Matsuda came in as unbeatable Matsuda. First match, got beaten. It's like, great, well, you can't really be unbeatable if the first match in you're beaten, but okay. But we had a dude, I'll never forget this guy. He came in, right, with the fucking big, like, gigantic, I'm the fucking whatever, not Undertaker, but some, big scary demon hoss thing or whatever. And we're like, dog, I don't think this is a good idea. I don't think this is a good idea. Just so you know, bro. Yeah, whatever, you can't tell me, it's my character I want to do. If okay. First match, he fights a man dressed up as a tiger. And when I say, you remember Tiger Mask or Tiger? Yeah. So basically, we had a tiger man. So basically, it's a little tiger with the little ice suit, little tiger thing, but it's a tiger instead of a liger. He also had the little tail, little tiger tail.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and little tiger tights. He whooped that boy's he whooped like a 7-foot. He whooped his ass. And then the guy was like, "Oh, you did this on purpose to sabotage me." I'm like, "No, no, we didn't. Actually, maybe we did. I don't fucking know. I didn't. Did I book it? I probably booked it. Maybe I did. Fuck you." So I said, "Don't go come in as the giant. Don't do that. It'll look bad on your face." But hey, so he summarily quit afterwards as well. But fuck him, shit like that. Don't come in here. KD would murder you. And then at one point, what we had and I'll let you go after this. What we had is we would do like you would fight one guy with his ult, right? And he would go easy on you. But if you couldn't close a deal, if you couldn't close, they would close on your ass. But they wouldn't try to kill you. But they're like, hey man, you got the opening. You get the windows getting shorter. Windows getting small. You better get the windows getting closer. It's getting smaller. You ain't not closing the window. You're not gonna and you lost. We do that. We do that to you maybe once or twice. And the third match you get KD, and he would wear you out like a condom. Or you would be KD, but either or, that was the progression system. Now motherfuckers come in and they're like the little dog with the bone. It is what it is. You just gotta. That's how it is now. So it be like that sometimes. It's all good. That's how you get better. That's how you steel sharpens steel. So you just gotta be very okay and whatever. So I think that's going to do it for the rookie edition of 181 or 182. I don't remember the number, but of the podcast. Thank you so much, sir, for showing up on such short notice. That was fun.
It was a pleasure. It was a pleasure for sure.
Do you have any closing thoughts on this toxic environment?
Free Trey Golden.
Shit.
Free Trey Golden, yo. He didn't do it. Like, I don't know what all these talks are. He didn't do it. There's no evidence. Free Trey Golden.
Oh, boy. It's funny. In this podcast, I didn't even ask you anything about your fucking character. I'm just here pontificating about the lore and shit. God damn. But you didn't bring it up. You didn't bring up your character either. You didn't bring up the mysteriousness. He's still workshopping.
He's still in the beginning phase. Like I'm slowly trying to figure him out. Like I use this kind of iteration of this character when I was doing the text roleplay.
Yeah.
But some of this stuff, like you said, I don't think it'll work around here because I'm not catching wins, so I can't talk like that. So I gotta evolve. I gotta figure out exactly where he's going. So it's coming. It's coming. That's all I can really say about the character. He's slowly maturing.
That's fine. I like the promo you did where you had the wall of the different masks, and hopefully that's something you can incorporate. I don't know if the game will allow you to, but that would kind of be sick as well. Everybody wants to be, I want to be the demon. Like, no, but this motherfucker came in with a mask, so he can actually use different masks now. So
right, and everybody's like, oh, I think he's demonic. I'm like, if that's what you want to interpret, sure.
Just a mask.
I don't even know where he's going with it right now. I know there's a laugh, there's a mask, nobody knows his face. We're gonna figure out where he goes.
I hope he's handsome. I hope he's handsome under the mask. You want to come out being busted. Oh, we know he's Canadian. He has melanin and he wears a mask, and he seemingly does has at least money to be somewhat well off.
Yep. That's all we know.
Just needs to get rid of the goose egg.
That's it. Like he can't have people following him and he's losing. Like that's just doesn't work.
I mean, some people sometimes you lose to win. I don't know where I was going with that. But as far as Trey Golden goes, if you want to free Trey Golden, just make sure he has an entrance readily providable, and I think he'll never have a problem again. Fucking dimwit. All right, that's gonna do it for us. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time. Take it easy.
Thank you. It's good talking to you.
You too. Bye.